Laura has me playing delivery man, so one for you.
Oh.
And one for you.
You are hereby cordially invited to the wedding of Laura Willis and Calvin Payne.
Some fancy cardstock here. Thank you for the invite. It was really big of you and Laura. And I'll be there.
Yeah, so what's that expression, you don't bring sand to the beach? Well, I think that Calvin is bringing a dang dump truck. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it was a joint decision. And I don't mean they were smoking when they were making it, even though it seems that way to me. But I'm guessing that Laura and Calvin agreed to invite her because remember, Calvin said that Laura is making him the delivery boy for the wedding invite. So I don't think he would have just constructed an invite himself to give to Miranda. But no, my question is, during the invitation stage, which one of them decided to invite her? Because remember 2 or 3 seasons ago, she did not want Christian to be a part of the wedding, let alone go to the wedding. It will confuse him. No, it's because you weren't ready to move on. Or you're just mad that Calvin moved on. And I already did a video talking about the discussion point of, did Calvin seemingly fast track his relationship with Laura into an engagement just to kind of show off to Miranda, like, yeah, I moved on. Which is kind of funny because Calvin made a similar argument to Miranda in this episode by saying, wait, is the only reason you said you were going out to the club and everything to kind of show me what I'm missing because I just invited you to the wedding? But then by the end of the episode, she says she's going to come because Calvin, apologized for not being the man back then that he is now. And I think that inviting Miranda to the wedding, while it is a, display of maturity, I also feel like it's, there's some stupidity involved with this. Especially due to the fact that Calvin has these conflicting feelings. Not to mention, these two had sex while Calvin was still engaged. Remember that episode where he was drunk and they had sex over at the condo, but then the next morning he didn't remember? Yeah, that happened. I'm willing to bet that Laura was probably the one that said, Calvin, you think we ought to invite Miranda? I mean, things have been, going better between all 3 of us, so I don't know. I just feel like, shouldn't she get an invite? Now, I don't think Tracy ever came into the discussion, but I think Laura probably was the one to invite Miranda. That's just my opinion. Calvin may have been. I really wish we got a scene where these two were talking about it. I mean, that whole episode, House of Funk, where it felt like 10 minutes was dedicated to the house just being stinky. They could have had a scene of these two at the table, getting the wedding invitation list together, and Calvin Jr. and Christian could have been somewhere playing or whatnot in the background. Then that discussion could have been taking place of, should Miranda be invited or not? So that would have given us some insight as to how Calvin would have reacted, because I honestly don't think he was the one to initiate the invitation. I think Laura probably brought it up. Maybe he was a bit reluctant, but then he agreed to, the idea. That's just my thoughts on it. But I think inviting Miranda is a mistake, because I think we can all tell it's only going to lead to Laura and Calvin not getting married, because you got to think about it from Miranda's perspective, in that not only is this wedding going to be big and over the top compared to the wedding she had with Calvin the first time, but also keep in mind that their wedding kind of got hijacked by CJ and Janine to be a double wedding on top of that. So, man. Well, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think it was a mistake to invite Miranda? Is she going to show up? Is the wedding going to be interrupted? Will Calvin decide not to marry Laura? Well, only time will tell. So, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.